Welcome to my course. In this session, we are going to learn about the basic of object-oriented concepts. In this session, we will go through the basic of object-oriented concepts like class, object, method, and constructors. So let's get started. I am Farzana Sadia, lecturer, senior of Software Engineering Department, Daffodil International University. So let's get started about what is an object. An object is a person or thing. Anything we see here and there is object. So like we can see, a calculator, a pen, a book, computer, laptop, everything is an object. There are different types of attributes of an object like state and behavior. State are the expression which has different values, and behavior are the activities which is done by the object. If we think about the objects over here, that is different types of mobile phone, we can say these are the objects. There are 10 different mobile phones. That means there are 10 different objects. For each object, it has a state. State means expressions, which expression has values. Like all of the objects have a height, a width, and RAM, processor. These are different values for different objects, and all of the mobile phones can do activities. They can call, they can show you the screen, they can email with different applications. So states are the expression which has different values, and behaviors are the activities that are done by the objects. These are the attributes of an object. Then, based on the attributes of the objects, based on the common attributes of the objects, we can define classes. So we can classify the objects by declaring different classes. Okay, like these are many persons. These are many persons. So suppose they are Anika, Fai, Meena, and Raju. So these are the name of different objects. These objects has common attributes which are state and behavior. State are like the ID, name, and CGPA of each objects, and behavior are the objects which can be done by the objects. So based on the state and behavior, which are the common attributes of the object, we can declare a class. The name of the class will be student. Okay, so from any scenario or from any requirement, if we can find out which one is object based on their attributes, we can define classes very easily. From this scenario, we have identified the objects, their attributes, and their classes. So the class will be the student, and in the class there will be variables. Variables are the state of the objects, and methods are the behavior of the objects. So in the student class, the variable will be ID, name, and CGPA, and the behavior or the method in the student class will be can view payment status. So let's start with the code. Here I am taking a class. The name of the class will be student. So in the student class, I will be declaring a string ID and string name. These are the variables, and these variables were the state of the object, name, and CGPA. Then I will add the method. The method was about, let me show you again, can view payment status. So can view, the method is can view payment. Okay, so this will be a method. In that method we will just print viewing. Okay, so there will be no logic, only just printing a value. Okay, so from the main method, what we will do, we'll create object of the class. So how we can create object? First we have to write the name of the class, then we have to write the name of the object. After that we have to write an equal sign, then the new operator, then the class name again. Then after that we have to assign, we can call the method name. Okay, can view payment. If we call the method with the object, then we will be able to see the output of the code. So here we will write a constructor. With a constructor, what we can do with a constructor, I'm writing a constructor. We know why we use constructor. We use constructor to assign the value of instance variable. Here our instance variables are the variables of the class. Those are ID, name, and CGPA. Okay, so I'm writing a constructor over here to assign the values of to the instance variables. ID, name, and equal CGPA equal C. So this is the constructor. With the constructor, we can assign the values of instance variable easily. Okay, so main method, in the main method, whenever we will call the we'll create the object, the constructor are by default called by the compiler. So whenever we will create the object, we have to assign the values for the parameters of the constructor. So in code number 19, in this line, whenever this object is created, by default the compiler calls the constructor, and we can see in the constructor there are parameters. So as compiler calls constructor over here, so we have to put values so that the values can be assigned in the parameters of the constructors. So first we have to maintain the sequence. We will give the value of ID, then name, then CGPA. So the ID, suppose ID is, I'm giving any ID, then I will give the name. Suppose the name is Mina and the CGPA is 3.5. Okay, if we run the code, now we will get the output, and we will be able to print the value of the ID and name and CGPA also. So how, with the object.id, in this way we can print ID, name, and CGPA. Okay, now if I run the code, we will be able to see the output. Here is my output. Viewing is the output of the method, and ID I have printed it. So this thing we have learned today: the class, the variables, the methods, and the constructor. Class are declared on the based on the common attributes of the objects. The states of the objects are the variables. The behavior of the object is method, and the constructor is used for initializing the value of these variables. That is the use of class, object, class, method, constructor, and variables. And whenever we want to write declare the object, first you have to write the class name, then you have to write the object name, then new is an operator which helps to create object in the memory, then class name, then we have to put the value of the parameters, because whenever you are creating the object, the compiler by default is calling the constructor. So in the constructor we have different parameters. So whenever you are creating the object of the class, you do have to put values for those objects, for the constructor, sorry. Then with the object we can call object dot, this is the dot method name. With the object we can call the method. We can, with object mina.id, with the object we also can call all the variables and show the variables from main method. So thank you.